I'm so excited to share with you everything we saw, the amazing places we visited in Northern California. This trip holds a special place in my heart, and I really hope you enjoy watching this video. We flew to San Francisco and spent the night in a beautiful place, one of the three Nob Hill mini mansions, the Dollhouse. I love staying in places with a bit of history, and this one is truly magnificent. Everything in the building and its rooms is just as it was, and the little details you can find from the old-fashioned sink in the bathroom to the vintage furniture is adorable. The rooms had so many charming touches, and the view of the iconic cable cars passing by was absolutely magical. We started our morning with breakfast at Rose's, which the housekeeper recommended, and it didn't disappoint. I highly recommend trying the polenta with poached eggs and sausage. It was so delicious. After breakfast, we strolled around the neighborhood and stopped by Luke's Local, a super cute grocery store. They have jars of honey from Napa Valley, beautifully wrapped chocolate, fruit and flower-shaped candles. I think it's definitely the nice spot to buy some souvenirs from the city. Next, we headed to Golden Gate Park, the place that made me fall in love with San Francisco. The park is huge, but my top recommendation is the Japanese tea garden. We wandered through the peaceful pathways and stopped for tea and mochi in the tea house. It was such a nice moment to recharge. There's also a lovely gift shop in the garden where I picked up a chopsticks holder as a souvenir. Not too far from the park is Ocean Beach. Since Andre and I are nature lovers, this was our kind of place. We walked along the shore, listened to the waves, and searched for seashells. Our final stop of the day was, of course, the Golden Gate Bridge viewpoint at sunset. The next day we went to Napa Valley, and get ready for a super cool recommendation here. We're not big fans of wine or wineries, and honestly there's plenty of information on that anyway. We drove through the valley and saw the beautiful vineyards, which really nice, but the real highlight was the Napa Valley Olive Oil Manufacturing Company. They've been family owned and operated since 1931. They also own the charming Italian grocery store. Tucked away on a side street, you'll find prosciutto, salami, sausages, breads, cheeses, peppers. Also, if you're a food lover, this place is definitely for you. And here's a little tip our friends shared with us. You can ask for a wooden board and a knife at the store and set up a picnic right on their grounds. Another must-visit spot for food lovers is Bouchon Bistro, Opened by chef Thomas Keller, it's an authentic French bistro, just steps from the famous The French Laundry. I completely forgot to film our main course, but the experience was amazing, everything was delicious. We also picked up some fresh bread and desserts from Bouchon Bakery next door. I say definitely worth a stop. Next, we drove to Point Reyes Lighthouse, a beautiful spot for sunset. Watching the endless ocean with the fog rolling in and whales appearing in the distance, there are simply no words to describe it. We started the next day with breakfast and then headed straight to Mill Valley for a hike in Muir Woods. Now I just wanted to take in the atmosphere, the misty forest, towering redwoods, and peaceful winding trails. It truly felt like stepping into another world. After a long day of hiking and driving, we finally arrived in Mendocino. We checked into a beautiful Victorian farmhouse, and our room was incredibly cozy. We lit a fire in the fireplace and went straight to bed. In the morning, I finally got to see just how beautiful this place was. The farmhouse had charming gardens and a cozy common tea room, making it feel so warm and inviting. And just let me show you more of this amazing place. After a little morning stroll, we headed into Mendocino for breakfast. And let me tell you, this was the most adorable town I saw on this trip. First of all, the ocean, it just makes everything more magical. But beyond that, the town itself was full of charm, with hotels, cozy restaurants, little shops selling souvenirs and chocolates. It felt like a postcard come to life. After breakfast in town, we headed to another lighthouse, one I was especially excited to see. It's on Point Cabrillo. It still has original lens and looks absolutely stunning. On the way, we saw a storm over the ocean, hiked along the coast, and ended up soaked in the rain. But honestly, it was one of those moments where you just feel life as it is, raw, wild, and beautiful. In the evening, we watched the sunset over the ocean and then had dinner in our cozy room by the fireplace. We opened a bottle of Mendocino wine that the hotel gave us as a welcome gift and just enjoyed the perfect way to end such an amazing day. In the morning, we woke up and headed back to San Francisco. We made a stop at Point Arena Lighthouse. Yes, another lighthouse along the coast. It's one of the tallest on the west coast, and the views from the top are just breathtaking. The lighthouse is still in operation and has a fascinating history, with a museum on site where you can learn about its past. After that, we continued our journey and stopped in Mill Valley. I couldn't resist coming back because this small town completely charmed me, and we strolled through the quiet streets, admiring the houses and imagining which one we'd love to live in someday, just daydreaming together. Actually, it's look kind of cool. For lunch, we stopped at Mill Valley Lumberyard. Originally a lumberyard from the late 800s, but it has since been transformed into community space with cafe, boutiques, and different stores. We grabbed a bite at one of the eateries there and just soaked in the cozy small town atmosphere before continuing our drive back. The last stop on our trip was Stanford, and I wanted the last stop remind me of my work so it would be easier to get back, and it definitely worked. Being there surrounded by people who are passionate about what they're doing helped me a lot in getting inspired and feeling ready to dive back into my own work. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed this journey with us. Feel free to leave a comment if you have a question for me, and subscribe for more adventures in the future. See you in the next video.